Good morning from Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass. We're located here at 5109 Liberty Highway, Pendleton, South Carolina. I'm your host today, Don Acevedo. My co-host, Mr. Mark Stoudemire. Today is Wednesday, April the 8th, 2026. Weather outside is kind of chilly. It's 48 degrees and partly cloudy skies. The high today is only supposed to reach 67, so we have a little cold front coming back. Shout outs go to Jane, Heather, Josh, Carter, Blaine, Hampton, Hudson, Kenzie, Kim, Josh, Blakely, Grant, Sil, Heidi, Charlie, Harper, Julie, Stoudemire, Banks, and a longtime friend, Mr. David Hall, down in South Florida, and of course, always loving Martin. We sell a lot of stuff here at the store. We got a lot of junk here at the store too. But you know, junk, I don't know if you watch Sanford and Son, but that's how they made their living, on junk. And they were probably pretty wealthy people. I think they both died pretty wealthy in the junk business. So we do a little junk business here. So if you want to stop by anything in the store you might want to buy, I might sell it to you. So stop by. And we sell hats, shirts, mugs. We sell instruments, fiddles, mandolins, guitars, bass, banjo, pretty much anything with a string on it we have here at the store. If you'll stop by at 5109 Liberty Highway, Pendleton, South Carolina, we'll suit you up. Our sponsor for today is Mark and his wife, Julie Stoudemire, and they help support me big time here at the store. Thank you for your sponsorship, for doing all you do for Breazeale. This guy does a lot for Breazeale.
Like I say, it's a mission and a ministry.
Yeah.
I consider it.
Anything ever happens to Mark, I'm closing up.
No, you better not.
Yeah.
Plenty of follow-on here to help you keep it going.
Anyway, here at Breazeale's, we teach all kinds of stringed instruments, which I just mentioned: banjo, guitar, fiddle, bass, and mandolin. All are welcome, no matter what level of playing that you are or singing. You're always welcome here on a Saturday night. If you want to sing, sing. If you just want to come sit and listen to some good bluegrass music and country music, come by and grab you a chair sometime. At Breazeale's, we have music lessons, like I just mentioned: fiddle, classic fiddle, mandolin, guitar, anything with a string on it. We teach it here. We have the best instructors in the upstate by far, in my opinion. For more information, call me at 864-376-1482. And if you feel like calling during the broadcast, feel free to call. I'll answer your questions, hopefully. And if you'd like to sponsor our show, just give me a call. There's no charge to be a sponsor, and we'll put you up here on the screen and talk about whatever your business is. You can also follow us on social media pages: YouTube, Facebook. In Facebook, you go under Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass, and Instagram under Beachy Bluegrass. And remember, there's a little oblong box where you're watching that says subscribe. Remember to hit that button. It helps us out. Okay, good morning. Today our guest is Mr. Ryan Wilson. Ryan is the instructor at Clemson University, where he teaches bluegrass music. I think he and our son Martin were instrumental in starting the bluegrass program at Clemson University, and Ryan has kept it going, and I'm so thankful for this young man over here for keeping it going. It's a struggle because you know, there's not a lot of funding for programs like that, but we try to get sponsors. And if you'd like to be a sponsor for one of their Clemson University Bluegrass, call me 864-376-1482. I'll direct you over to Ryan, and you can get on board as one of the sponsors for Clemson University Bluegrass Band. So anyway, good morning, Ryan. How are you?
All right, all right.
Give us some stuff.
Good to be here.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, Clemson Bluegrass program started out. It was just me and a couple of people that I knew at Clemson that played, and we were able to get it added as a class, and now here we are, 7 years later, and we're pumping out musicians. It's been amazing. Been an amazing journey.
Yeah.
Yep.
They put out some excellent musicians. They'll be here this Saturday night with the group, so if you want to come and listen to them, they are excellent. This guy does a fantastic job teaching these kids how to play bluegrass and sing bluegrass. I don't know how he does it, but he sure does do a good job. Yeah.
I'm just there to guide them on their journey. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, but see, when they come into the program, don't they have to know how to play a little something?
You have to be able to. Well, the guidelines are you have to be able to play a bluegrass instrument or sing.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter the level that you play at, because I can plug you in, wherever's necessary. So we do have or have had a lot of beginners, people that, they only know a few chords on a guitar and know how to move their hand around.
Yeah.
And we, make sure that they understand the goals of the program, understand the goals of the ensemble, and sometimes they've come out the other side absolutely phenomenal musicians.
Yeah, I've seen some guys come out of your program, unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been thinking of taking the program myself.
Yeah, come on, let's do it.
You can help me out.
You want to go back to college?
Oh yeah, I'd love to go back to college. Yeah, I love studying. Yeah.
It's I tell you, I like teaching. I've always liked teaching, but doing music, which is something else that I really, really enjoy, just makes it easy and fun.
Yeah.
And so, they say that you'll never work a day in your life if you're doing something that you love, and I haven't. I've been retired now for 7 years.
Fantastic.
So,
That's
yeah.
cool. Mark, you have any questions for Ryan? You might have.
No, just tell what all the instruments that y'all deal with, and
You okay?
kind of a little bit about how you sequence them in and all of that, maybe.
Right. Don mentioned all the bluegrass instruments. We can't have bluegrass without banjo. Mandolin was, arguably the first instrument, the first bluegrass instrument, being Bill Monroe. We've got the rhythm section, which would be the mandolin, guitar, and bass. And then that's the bass four, and then there's two instruments that kind of add flavor, which would be fiddle and or dobro. And there's bands out there that have one or the other, and there's bands out there that have both. And yeah, that's what we start with. I've even had a cello in the band, in the ensemble. I think she's going to be here or rejoin the group on cello in the fall. She couldn't do it this spring. So I'm excited to have her back. There is a precedent in bluegrass for cello. So she's got, she's not doing anything abnormal. But yeah, we have lessons on all of the instruments with the exception of mandolin and dobro. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. Banjo, mandolin, fiddle. Yeah, mandolin and dobro are the two that we're missing currently. I would like to hire a mandolin instructor. We had one for a while, but of course, with budget cuts and whatnot, it's been a challenge to kind of bring that back. But we are looking to try to find somebody to fill that mandolin role. So,
Okay, good.
yep.
Ryan, if somebody is watching today and they say, gosh, I want to get involved in that, how would they go by getting involved either in playing or in donations for that class?
Donations. I have someone, or the college has someone that we use that just to keep everything above bar and legal and all that stuff that they would need to go through to make donations. I also am able to collect, cash or check donations. But I have to immediately, hand that over, and I have to, make an accounting of what I'm doing. If you want to make a donation, you get in touch with Don. He can get in touch with me. I can get you in the right place, or you can look at our website. The information should be on the website. Look up Clemson Bluegrass, and you should be able to find the website there. Alternatively, if you want to help us musically, I currently have in the program, we have 2 mandolins and a banjo that we have in the program that we allow students, say they have a problem with their instrument, they can switch it out and use those instruments. So we could take instrument donations, or outside of that, I'm not sure what else would be available. You have any ideas?
I got a couple guitars here that somebody brought a bunch of instruments, and they're nice instruments.
Oh, yeah?
I don't want them anymore.
They're treasures.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was here
nice.
when they were delivered, 4 instruments, including a beautiful Corky King banjo and a baritone guitar,
Wow.
which I'd heard of, but I've never seen.
Yeah.
So I got them. They bought cases. They're back there. Yeah,
Wow.
they brought cases with them. So
And they
Nice.
wanted them to
grab them on the way out. today.
Okay.
I think they wanted them, if I understood right, to go to students who,
Wow. That would be
Training.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, this is one of them back here. I was going to keep for the store.
Oh,
Yeah, I had a nice store guitar that Mark bought from me, so I don't have it anymore. So I thought I'd make that my other store guitar. People can play. Yeah, people are a lot of generous people out there. you know.
Absolutely.
And if somebody comes in and wants to know how to help the program, I always send them to
Yep.
you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, with that all said, you'll be here Saturday night, right?
We'll be here Saturday night, starting at 7:30. You'll get to see the students play and sing. We have right at about an hour, somewhere in there, that we can play worth of material, and in that we'll also talk about the program and talk
Yeah.
about, I'll make sure to introduce each of the students as they come on stage and do their thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
is there a special way to give a donation to send y'all to IBMA in Chattanooga? Can we
No.
designate, if we give a contribution, can it be designated that that's all we can use it for?
You can designate it as for the Bluegrass account. There's an account specifically that I use for going on trips for
Okay.
IBMA, or if we a lot of times, once per semester or so, I'll have a performance where they're asked to travel more than 50 miles. This semester we went to the Grand Old Post Office down in Darlington, South Carolina, and did a performance. And so the students will get a stipend for that kind of a performance. And that's the account that we use for those kinds of things.
Well, how many times have y'all been to tell them what IBMA is, because
Okay,
y'all have
yeah.
been to it. Tell them
Yep.
about it. It was in Raleigh.
Right.
Now they moved it to Chattanooga.
Right. IBMA stands for International Bluegrass Music Association, and I like to tell people it's essentially the CMAs for
For
bluegrass.
Bluegrass.
Yeah, you have fanfare just like CMA does in Nashville, but like you said, the last 10 years it's been in Raleigh. Before that it was in Nashville, and now they've moved to Chattanooga. And it's a full week of seminars, performances, and everything bluegrass that you can think of happens during that week. We have been invited to play both street stages. They have some stages set up on each of the
Around town.
streets. Yep. Also been asked to perform at some of the venues in town. But the biggest thing for me, at least for, as far as I'm concerned, is we get to play on the college showcase stage, which is just off, depending on how they have things set up. It's usually just off of the main stage. So, you could be standing there listening to Del McCurry play and then walk, 100, 200 feet or so and listen to Tigertown Roots play. And so that, for me, that's a big deal.
So when is this? Is in September every year?
It's usually in September, near the end of September. Sometimes it'll, depending on the weekend, sometimes it'll cross over into October. It's a big, the largest bluegrass festival in the world is how they promote it.
Okay, yeah, so if you really, we go to Spigma every year, but if we really were doing what we should do, we should go to IBMA in September and then Spigma in January.
January, February.
Then we would cover both of the conventions
Right.
here in the eastern side of the country.
Jane's saying we're not loud enough.
Oh. We need to holler,
IBMA, Spigma is really good for networking, connecting with other bluegrass musicians, and promoting festivals or venues. And they also have an award show that's very similar to what's happening at IBMA, but IBMA is international.
and it's
And
the
huge.
awards at IBMA they're voted on by professionals for the most part. Right?
You have to be a member of IBMA to be able to vote. Yeah. Whereas with Spigma, I'm not sure how that works with
Okay.
Spigma. But Spigma, just so we're not missing anything here, Society for the Preservation of Bluegrass Music in America
Yeah.
is Spigma. We just shorten it to Spigma because nobody wants to say all those words.
That works.
Yeah, that IBMA show is kind of the highlight for the year for us, but it's always right at the beginning of the year. We might have 5 or 6 rehearsals before we got to hit the road and go play.
So, East Tennessee State has probably maybe the most famous bluegrass program in the
Right,
universities.
yeah, absolutely.
Who else? Do you know who else? I know
Yeah,
there's some in Kentucky that have
right.
bluegrass programs. And,
Kentucky has the Kentucky School of Bluegrass. There is, oh man, you're gonna put me on the spot, and I'm not gonna be able to remember everybody. There's only one other R1 school, R1 being the rating of the university. It is research based rating. There's only one other R1 school that has a bluegrass program, and that's UNC.
University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill.
Chapel Hill, yeah.
Chapel Hill. Well,
Yeah.
how about that?
They were right there, right there at Raleigh, and so that's how that started up. It started while IBMA was happening in Raleigh. Someone in the area noticed that UNC didn't have a program and said, I want to fund a program, hire somebody, get everything working, and that was their dying wish, I guess.
Okay, my
was
daughter,
get that going.
Saturday night, my daughter and son-in-law who live in Chapel Hill were here. Both of them are UNC
grads.
Chapel Hill graduates, and
Nice.
their whole career they only went to one UNC basketball game. And I think they only did that because they knew they were supposed to before they left.
Yep, that
They
happens
weren't
at
into
Clemson.
sports.
That happens at Clemson too. We have students that never go to a football game. So, yeah. The program during COVID, all of the programs were damaged in some way. I think probably Clemson I would argue, might have gotten the worst of it. we were down to only 3 people in the program. And since then, we've turned it around. We've had as many as 14. Currently, we have 9. And if you have, if you're going to Tri-County, you can also take this class.
Oh, okay.
So I've set it up so that it's a single class for both colleges, both Tri-County and Clemson. So we currently have a Tri-County student in the class, in the ensemble, and in the past I've had 3 or 4 others that have come through at the Tri-County.
You just have to, maybe this is a little off the subject, but South Carolina and just across the border North Carolina are amazing bluegrass growing ground, because Boiling Springs, North Carolina, you had Earl Scruggs.
Yep.
Spartanburg, you had, near Spartanburg, you had Don Reno, you had Bobby Thompson. Now you've got Kristen Scott Benson over there, who's playing currently and doing a fantastic job. Who am I leaving out? Here in the upstate, we had Al Osteen. We had Al Osteen, who was a great banjo player here and a great teacher. I think he was one of Kristen's teachers. Coming up the late great Al Osteen.
Yeah.
I know a Buck Trent, I think, from South Carolina.
Yep.
So South Carolina is just an amazing bluegrass development ground, or has been.
Yeah.
So you can be part of that now.
That's right. That's
part
right.
of that.
Bill Monroe spent a good bit of time, Bill and Charlie, when they were, first starting to develop their brother duet stuff. They spent a lot of time here in South Carolina. I think they were more towards Columbia, but they did perform up in the upstate and in this area.
I kind of thought they lived in Greenville for a while.
They did.
Maybe in a trailer or something.
Right,
and
right.
Played on one of the radio stations, FBC, I would imagine,
Yep.
at the time.
Yep. It's pretty remarkable how the Piedmont area here, just going from Georgia all the way up through the Carolinas, kind of created that sound, that we're all familiar with, and then obviously there's been other influences. I don't mean to disregard those, but
Well, if you get into the old time type banjo, North Carolina is probably the
Yep.
mountains up there might be about the most famous place for the development of clawhammer banjo, with all those old time guys that played up there.
yep, for sure.
Famous
Yep.
ones, lots of famous ones within that world.
Yep,
Carol Best and people like that.
yep.
Great. Some good information, folks. I hope everybody's watching. So again, if you want to donate, contact Ryan Wilson or contact me here at the store, and I'll put you in contact with Ryan Wilson to help out with their program. It's a great program, and we need to keep it going. So we need more sponsors to get on board. If you like music, bluegrass, country, whatever, you want to support these kids, again, you call me at 864-376-1482, and I'll connect you with Ryan, and we can keep that program going strong and alive. It's a good program. And if you want to come Saturday night, you can hear them. They'll be here.
Yep.
Tiger Town Roots will be here Saturday night. They come on stage at 7:30. So make plans to be here Saturday night. Listen to a great band. Ryan does such a wonderful job. I still don't know how he does it all, but it amazes me how, when they get on stage, how great those kids perform, and just everything's synchronized so well. And that takes a lot of work to do all that, I know. So I appreciate what Ryan's doing in the community and at Clemson. So give us your support to keep these young kids playing that bluegrass, right?
I knew I was leaving out someone. Charles Wood, one of the greatest banjo players you'll ever see, teaches here at your store on Saturday morning.
Right.
Yep.
Charles is as good as any of the Nashville guys.
I think he's a 3 or 4 time banjo champion, something
Yeah,
like
and
that.
he teaches right here
He
at Don's
teaches right
store.
here at Breazeale Saturday morning, so if you want to,
He was one of Al's students.
yeah, he was
at some
one of
point,
Al's
I believe.
students, and actually he taught my son, Martin, how to play banjo as well. So if you want to come on Saturday morning, stop by or call me, 864-376-1482. We'll hook you up with Charles Wood. He's one of the best. I'm real fortunate to have him here at Breazeale's every Saturday morning. He gets here about 8 o'clock for a student, and he leaves about 10:30. He's got 4 or 5 students, but he's a great banjo teacher. A great guy. He's a good guy.
He'll play Mozart for you if you want.
Yeah, actually,
Mozart and Bach and all.
yeah, we went to Stevens one night with Charles Wood, and Stevens a heck of a pianist, and they went into the piano room and they played what was that?
It was class. I don't remember what it was. It was classical music because Stephen is a classical pianist, a very excellent one. Amazing to watch those guys. And Charles played right with him on the banjo.
Played right with him on the banjo. And I'll tell you, you could have heard a pin drop when they stopped. It was just silent, going, whoa, wait a minute. Banjo and a piano sounded great. They did.
In fact, somewhere I think the story is Steve Martin heard a CD of Charles, Steve Martin the actor.
Yeah.
And called Charles up, and they're probably friends now, and that's helped you and Martin get to go to the Letterman show.
Yeah, we went up to the
Years ago.
Letterman show in New York and spent about 5 days with Steve Martin and all those crazy folks up there. And I remember I took Brandon Couch with me, and we were kind of bored one evening, not a lot to do. So we went out on the sidewalk, took our instrument, started playing bluegrass. It was Martin on a mandolin, what's his name?
2 minutes.
I was on the guitar, and that was it. And we just started picking right there on the sidewalk.
Busking in New York City. How about that?
So
That had
people
to be
started
good.
gathering around. Next thing you know, there's a whole crowd of people, and they started throwing money in the instrument case.
That'd probably get you arrested today.
Yeah. So we had a good time. We got about a minute to go. Thank you, folks, for watching us today. Thank you, Ryan, for being here and all that good information about Clemson University. Tiger Town Roots will be here Saturday night, 7:30. So put it on your calendar for Saturday night, 7:30. Tiger Town Roots. Anything else, Mark? We got on
No,
the
that's
docket?
all I've got. It's come Saturday night.
Yeah.
You'll be sorry if you didn't.
Yeah, that's right.
And you'll be delighted if you do.
And if you want to sponsor Tiger Town Roots in that program, that's awesome. Just let me know. Call me 864-376-1482, and I'll get you in touch with Mr. Ryan, and he'll make sure that your funds get filtered into that program at Clemson University. Again, thanks for watching us today, and we'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you next